Today's my last day here in my house. Tomorrow I leave for Bali indefinitely, and it just feels like very bittersweet, so surreal. And I truly, I love my house. I love my house. This has been my home for the past year and a half, where I've really sought refuge. This has been my haven. And yes, I'm moving to Bali, and it's very bittersweet, and it sucks. I just I can't live here anymore. My children are here. I don't really speak to my family, but my children live here. They're 14 and 18 years old. I just don't want to be here. I don't want to be here anymore. I have lived here almost 40 years of my life. There's so much more to the world. There's so much more to the world than just this little piece of backyard, this house. There's so much to see, and I don't want to see it only 2 times a year, only 2 weeks a year. I want a vacation. I want to travel for all my life, but just know that there are sacrifices. There are sacrifices that are made, and this is one of them, having to give up my house yet again. Willingly, but having to do this in order to get to what I want. This is the closing of a chapter and the beginning of another one, and it's beautiful, it's bittersweet, but at the same time it's the bitter part now. It's the bitter part now.
Americans are leaving this country in record numbers, and I'm not talking about vacation. I'm talking packing their bags, booking their flights, and leaving for good. In the first few months of 2025 alone, the amount of people that just said, "I'm done," and moved abroad doubled from the year before. That's not just a blip, okay? That's a wave. So why? Same reasons you and I complain about every day. Cost of living going through the roof, political chaos that never seems to end, and the fear of safety even when you're just going to the grocery store. But here's the thing, it's not just dreamers or millionaires doing it. It's normal people. It's people with families. It's young people, old people, retirees, people who are working remote. One common thread holding all of these people together is they just want a dignified life. That's why you're seeing places like Greece, Spain, France, Portugal. Their cafes are filling up with Americans who are just done. People love to scream, if you don't like it, leave. Well, we are, thousands and thousands of us. We will be joining that wave soon. If you're curious about moving abroad, stick around, because we're about to embark on this journey ourselves, and we can't wait. At the end of the day, people like us just want to make life work. And if we think that we can do that better outside of this country, then who's to say we can't?
Okay, white America, I come with a message from black America. We're leaving. We're leaving. You have won. We are leaving. All of us are leaving. All the colored people, all the brown people, we are leaving. You're going to get what you want. We are leaving. We are leaving. Okay? You're going to get what you want. You say you all want us out of America. We are leaving. We are leaving. We promise. We have no problems leaving. As long as you leave Africa and you leave the Caribbean, don't take nothing. Just go. Just go. That's it. That's the arrangement. You leave Africa and you leave the Caribbean and don't come back. Don't take nothing. Walk out with your 2 hands empty. That's the arrangement. We will leave America, sure. To the blue eyes, to those that say they want to make America great again, to those that say black people need to leave, Spanish people need to go. We will leave as long as you leave Africa and the Caribbean. Tell me what you think. Do we have a deal? Let me know.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I always appreciate your love and your support to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Vanessa. Kindly consider subscribing. Today we're discussing about the reasons behind Americans, not only black Americans, but also Caucasians are now relocating from the United States of America to different continents. So kindly stay tuned, watch till the end, and we're going to hear the different experiences that they have had in this land and the specific moments that made them feel like I have to exit from here. So don't hesitate to let us know what you think in the comments. I'll be back with more commentary, and of course a credit belongs to the original creators that we're going to see on our screens. Welcome.
Do I need to flee the country? But then I'm like, but if I flee the country, where am I going to go? Because fascism is on the rise in Europe too. And then I'm like, my ancestors survived here and they made it work. But then I'm like, but the ancestors wanted better for me and they didn't have a choice but to stay, but I might have resources to leave. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe they will want me to leave. And then I'm like, do I have the money to leave? And I'm like, I certainly don't have the energy to fight. Oh my God, I can't fight nothing. I'm not built for that. But then I'm like, maybe I can just go to Canada because it's right there. And then I'm like, is that too close? That might be too close. And you see the far right rising in France and Germany and Italy. And then you start to really think to yourself, is there really a way to escape the tendrils of American imperialism? And maybe it's actually safer to be here than it is to leave. Because I don't want to be on the receiving end of the nukes, right? But I also don't want to be in the country that's shooting them. And then, of course, you start thinking, but if I do leave, do they like black people? You know what I mean? So I'm really confused.
So I don't know what to do. I really badly want to leave the United States. I would be gone tomorrow if I could make it happen. And my husband doesn't. He thinks that someone's going to save us. He thinks Congress or checks and balances or Democrats or someone is not going to let the worst happen. And I don't know how many other ways to try and convince him. I don't think that's going to happen. I want better for us. I want better for our kids. I want them to have a worldly, cultured childhood, and I want them to grow up in a better place than this. This is not a good life. And he's an engineer, I'm a nurse. We don't make a ton, but we're fine, but not here. This sucks. How do I get him on board with moving away from the United States?
We are very, very seriously starting to consider leaving the United States, and I just want to hear from someone who's done it. Where did you go? How did you decide that's where you're going? How did you get a visa? Do all of that? I'm definitely like researching on my own, but like if there was someone I could connect with who's done this before, like I just would love to utilize you as a resource. And yeah, if we can help one another, please.
Why I left the US and will never go back there. The biggest reason why I will not be returning to live in the US is because it is a failed society. I don't think that Americans realize that the way that they live is not actually normal when you compare it to the rest of the world. It's not normal to not have healthcare. It's not normal to be in crippling amounts of debt from going to school or going to a hospital. It's not normal to be afraid of gun violence, for there to be a threat of gun violence in your school. It doesn't matter if it's a developed country or an underdeveloped country. It's not normal to only have two choices when it comes to politics and who runs your country. It's not normal to have a 79% literacy rate and half the country cannot read above a 5th grade level. My family and I immigrated to the United States when I was 5 years old. And in that time, my mom worked herself to the bone. We barely saw our mother because she was always at work. She never had time for herself. She's barely gone on vacation. Her life has literally centered around work for the last 25 years. And so my mom essentially sacrificed her life and her happiness in order to work. And when I returned to the US after living in Europe for 3.5 years, all I was doing was working. I would wake up super early in the morning, commute for 1 hour, go to work for 8 hours, commute for another hour, and then I would have 2 hours to myself before I had to go to bed in order to do the same thing in the morning again. All for 2 weeks of vacation time. And I want you guys to know that this is not normal. In some countries, the minimum that an employee will get off of work is 6 weeks. In some countries, women get years off to spend with their newborn child. After my mom gave birth to my brother, she was back at work after 2 weeks. When I was going to school in the US, I constantly had anxiety that our school was going to be shot up. And this is not normal. I want you guys to understand it, because when I was talking to my friends who also went to school in the US, they said the exact same thing, that they always had anxiety that someone would come into the school and shoot it up. And so I essentially chose peace when I decided to leave the US. I do not feel any sort of allegiance to this country because the US does not have allegiance to me as a Black woman. Black women are overwhelmingly more prone to experiencing poverty than any other ethnic group in the United States. Black women are also more likely to die in childbirth in the United States. It has one of the highest maternal mortality rates. And so why should I choose to work myself to the bone for decades to get nothing in return, to not even be able to retire comfortably for a country that doesn't care about me?
Americans are finding peace in other countries. Why is it that we are learning to really love on ourselves? We are really learning what it feels like to have peace, to have freedom, to really unconditionally show ourselves the self-love that we deserve. Why is it that we have to leave and go outside of America to have access to quality health care, to have access to doctors that actually care about our health? Why is it that we have to leave America to actually get healthier? Why is it? Why is it that we can leave America? No one asks us about our credit. Why is it that we have to leave America to feel safe? Why is it? Why is it that so many Americans are thriving outside of the United States?
Guys, as a reminder, our contents are always made for education purpose only. And let's just dive into this. If you are living in any country in this world that is not benefiting your life, then what are you waiting for? And this has led many families to relocate or to exit from one place to another just because their life are not better in such place. And that's why today many Americans are finding it increasingly to afford like basic expenses like housing, healthcare, education, and those are just the basic things that everybody might need in any place that you are living. And major cities in the US have skyrocketing the prices of real estate. Healthcare cost is the main thing that is very expensive in the world. In contrast, many countries out here, even in Africa, they offer like a lower cost living and even more affordable healthcare options. What about political polarization and social division? Today, the United States of America has deeply politically divided in recent years. And some people feel disillusioned, stressed, or unsafe due to the rising of tensions, cultural conflicts, or erosion of trust in government institutions. And I swear this has led some to seek what they perceive as a more stable or less polarized society elsewhere. When we come for work-life balance or lifestyle, then here everyone will be like, I have overworked all my life, all my lifestyle, or like it was just at work. During the day, during the night, I've been just at work. I don't know how I could tell how my life has gone. Many years ago, I've been just working hard, working hard, working hard. Of course, I have achieved many, but I need to rest. I need vacation. I need time for my family. Let me tell you guys, many Americans feel burnt out. In contrast, many countries offer generous vacation time, shorter work weeks, or a slower pace of life. people are seeking a better quality time. I mean, more time with their families and a healthier lifestyle that may find other countries more appealing. Think about desire of adventure or cultural experience. Imagine living in one place since you were born until your last breath. No way. We always feel like we need to learn more. We need to know or see how other nations are living today, and of course discover more skills. And that's why today some Americans simply need a change. You know, having the idea of living abroad, learning new language, experiencing different cultures, even traveling. You know, digital and remote work has made this lifestyle being more accessible than ever before. And the last thing that I'm thinking of that can lead many families to exit, it's retirements and financial resources. Guys, when you come to this, you know, like these old parents of us, they sometimes reach on the stage that they are not really making money as they used to do, and when they face all these political instabilities, when they are losing their healthcare offers that have been cut off, it feels so bad. It feels so sad that some of them they cannot even afford. So they feel like we still have more places that we can fit. There is more chance that we can live our life as we wish. For example, in Latin America, Southeast Asia, and some parts of Europe, they offer lowering of living costs, and that feels like, oh, that can be my retirement destination. So guys, let me just not take much of your time. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I always feel like, wow, it's amazing to have you guys. If you haven't yet subscribed, consider subscribing, leave a like to this video and share it with your friends and families. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell another friend that there is a channel of Vanessa Voicing. That's me. Thank you so much. Let's catch up in the next. Bye.